Ever try to like predict how tall your plant's going to be based on how much water you give it? Like, because you put that on a graph and draw a line.
Right.
But how do you find like the best line mathematically?
Yeah.
Turns out there's this powerful tool in Excel that can help you do just that. It's called LINESTX. And it's not just your average trend line.
Right.
This is like next level data analysis.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the cool thing is, whether you're like prepping for a big meeting or you want to impress your boss with some serious spreadsheet skills or just love geeking out over data, LINESTX can really be a game changer.
Yeah, what's really fascinating about LINESTX is that it doesn't just, show you a trend.
Yeah.
It actually helps you understand how reliable that trend is for making predictions.
Okay.
And that can make a huge difference in how you use your data.
So let's break down this LINESTX magic.
Okay.
How does it actually find the best line to represent the data?
Well, it uses something called the least squares method, which sounds complicated. But it's really about finding the line that minimizes the overall distance between all the data points and the line itself.
Okay.
So you can kind of imagine like you have the scatter of dots and you're trying to draw a line through it so that like the total distance between the line and each dot is as small as possible.
Okay.
And that's essentially what LINESTX is doing, but in a much more precise and mathematical way.
So if we go back to our plant example.
Yeah.
We've got our basic equation, y. Y is how much the plant grows.
Right.
X is how much water we're giving it.
Exactly.
So LINESTX is helping us find the exact slope and intercept of that line.
Yes.
Which tells us the exact relationship between watering and growth.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
You're not limited to just one X or one factor.
Okay.
So let's say the amount of sunlight also affects your plant's growth. You can include that in your data as well. And LINESTX can handle that added complexity and give you separate slopes for water and sunlight.
Wait, so we're not limited to just one factor?
Nope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what about that const parameter I came across?
Great question.
What's that all about?
So the const parameter basically determines whether the line is forced to go through 0 or if the data determines that starting point.
Right.
So sometimes it makes sense for the line to start at 0.
Yeah.
Like if we were talking about the number of hours worked, how much money you earn.
Right.
You wouldn't earn anything if you didn't work any hours, right?
Yeah.
But in other cases, like with our plant example, there might be some baseline growth even without any water or sunlight.
Okay.
Just from the initial size of the seed.
Right.
So the const parameter gives you control over that.
So it's like deciding whether your plant got a head start in life.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have the output table.
It's like a full report card on how good our line is.
Yeah, it's not just an answer.
Yeah.
It's a full analysis.
Right.
So you get the slopes, which tell you how much each factor, like water or sunlight, contributes to the plant's growth.
Okay.
You get the intercept, which is that baseline growth we talked about.
Right.
But then you also get these super helpful statistics.
Okay.
Like standard errors.
Standard errors.
Yeah.
I'm curious. How would you interpret a large standard error in a real-world scenario?
So a large standard error is kind of like a yellow flag.
Okay.
So imagine we did our plant experiment 10 times. Would we get the exact same slope each time?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
The standard error tells us how much that slope might vary from experiment to experiment.
Okay.
So a large standard error means there's a lot of variation.
Gotcha.
And our prediction might not be as accurate.
Right.
It could mean we need more data.
Okay.
Or that there are other factors influencing growth that we haven't considered. So a smaller standard error would mean we can be more confident in our prediction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's the star of the show,
Okay.
R squared.
Oh, yeah.
This tells you how well the line actually fits the data. So a high R squared means you've got a strong relationship.
Okay.
A tight fit between your line and the data points. And you can be more confident in using this model to make decisions.
Nice.
Like figuring out how much water to give your plant for optimal growth.
Gotcha.
A low R squared.
Yeah.
That's a warning sign that you might be missing key factors.
Right.
Or the relationship just isn't as strong as you thought.
That's fascinating. I hadn't considered the impact of multiple factors before.
Yeah.
So LINESTX isn't just giving us numbers.
Right.
It's actually giving us the tools to really understand what our data means.
And that's crucial.
Yeah.
It's the difference between blindly trusting a model and actually understanding its limitations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to sum it all up, LINESTX is a powerful tool for anyone working with data.
Definitely.
We're going way beyond simple trend lines here.
And here's something to think about.
Okay.
We've been using plants as an example.
Yeah.
But imagine the potential applications in your own life.
Right.
So financial forecasting, analyzing marketing campaigns, understanding customer behavior.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
That's so true.
Yeah.
This has been an amazing deep dive into LINESTX.
Absolutely.
And we know learning a new Excel function can feel kind of daunting. But trust us, LINESTX is worth the effort.
Oh, for sure.
It can give you a real edge in analyzing data
Yeah.
and making smarter decisions.
Yeah, I agree.
But it feels like we've only just scratched the surface of what DAX can do.
Absolutely. There's a whole world of data exploration out there waiting for you.
That's exciting.
So go ahead, experiment. See what insights you can uncover.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
Until next time.
See you later.